We have a very, 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 very special guest in the studio today, our quadruple threat Malike Kanur. She's a singer, dancer, actor, model, songwriter, and all-around badass. Malike Kanur is an Afro-Celt human. Why did I call you an Afro-Celt?
Those do exist too, though.
That's us.
That's us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm one of you. Yes,
You are one
true.
of us. All of a sudden,
False.
Malike Kanur is an Afro-Turkish human lover and singer-songwriter raised in what was once a wild swamp on the shores of the Potomac River.
Romantic.
Wow.
So romantic.
Very romantic.
We're so happy to have you here,
Yeah.
Malike.
I'm so
Malike.
excited.
Oh my gosh. So tell us about yourself.
First of all, y'all bought me flowers, so I'm gonna tell you everything. You know how to treat a guest, so that's really sweet.
Oh,
Really, really so sweet.
we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, we
We're
really
excited to have you as a
Yes.
guest.
Our very first guest.
Yes.
Represent. So,
Where are you from?
where am I from? I'm from Robert E. Leesburg.
Really?
On the
Whoa.
right on the Mason-Dixon in Virginia.
What was that like growing up in a town named after Robert E. Lee?
Well, I mean, by the time my family moved there in the 90s, it's just like super suburbs. Like
Okay.
they were in process of completely demolishing what it had been for, I guess, 100 years before that, which was farmland and livestock. and,
right.
a lot of horses, like horse country is out there. So like my neighborhood was like kind of the last cul-de-sac
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
at the end
Air
of this.
quotes, everyone.
Yeah.
Before you hit the
Those
water.
of you who know what that is. No, not before you hit the water. It's like the last cul-de-sac before like the last farm
Right.
in the part of the county where I
Gotcha.
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the river used to run down through that. But by the time that we lived there, there was no more river there.
Right.
They kind of diverted. Actually, at that point, it would have been like kind of like a creek coming off of it. So it's more like a 20-minute walk to the river from where I'm
Okay.
at. But it's like farmland, then swamp, then houses.
Was it
It's
like used by you?
No. See, who's romantic here? Okay. I
like-
see the picture you're painting in your mind, honey.
Like,
That's not-
so cool. Oh my God. Was there a witch in the woods?
Wait a minute, though, because that film was iconic. Remember the little, what's the girl's name that played the mixed girl? Like the bewitched child?
Sojourn.
It's one of the Smollett.
Journey Smollett.
Yeah.
Jussie's?
Yeah, it's one of their
Juicy's sister?
Did you watch Sticks and
Oh.
Stones?
No.
No, the Dave Chappelle special. It was just.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's called.
yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course. Girl,
What did he call
I was
him?
not going to watch
He
it.
called
I
him
watched
Juicy
that.
Smollett.
Yes, Juicy.
Juicy Smollett.
He did that. He really dragged. He didn't even have to say anything. That's like all he said. He's like, Juicy?
The best part of that segment was when he said, "Who walks around putting ropes on people's neck? What is this 1850?"
The fact that they were Nigerian
Right.
was
Oh
like
man.
just the icing on the cake. I'm like, you are so confused.
Yes. Yeah. The whole thing. Oh man. What was he
Like-
thinking? At first, I thought it was a performance art piece. I was like, this is like, he's just trying to, he's so hurt by what's going on in the world around
Right.
us. Maybe he just needs people to feel his pain in an artistic way.
I feel like it's absolutely an expression of the confusion of what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a complete metaphor
Yeah.
for like what's
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
happening.
I feel like someone's going to write a piece on this or like make a play based on this. It's very, it's
They haven't, they should.
It's
Juicy
very
should.
juicy.
But yeah, that's
Take
his,
it to
that's
Spike.
his sister.
Take it. So a cul-de-sac at the end of a river, at the edge of a
By a
river.
farm.
By a farm.
Where
Okay.
I had this neighborhood boy who would never like me because he was white and I wasn't.
Tale as old as time.
But his ass would be on the farm with me every day after school, playing with the dogs and pigs and shit and rolling in shit and like
literal pig.
yeah, literal pigs.
Dang, girl.
But like he wouldn't claim me at school. Like that was my like third grade boyfriend, Tyler Strohmeyer. on blast.
Hey,
ain't
Tyler,
shit.
look at me now.
Look at me now.
I'm
Look at me now. Yeah, I don't know what it. I don't know. You never know what's going on inside people's homes or houses or heads.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that was my friend.
Wait, his name was Tyler?
We had a time.
Oh my God. I had a crush on a boy named Tyler who lived across the street from me too. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
I had 2
Malike.
Tylers, girl.
Oh, why was everybody named
I'm not
Tyler?
even going to say the last name of the second one. You know who you are.
Because it was the 90s.
Tyler.
Tyler's
of the world. You better get it
what
together.
was the other? Chad.
Oh.
So what was like?
Chad.
What would you say the demographic?
Brendan.
Brendan was
Yes, to all the Chads in the world. Love brown girls. Can't be with us because you got problems. Yeah. Demographics for where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the suburbs of DC. Now, they say on the internet somewhere that the DC suburbs are some of the most ethnically, culturally diverse suburbs in the world, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So my neighbors were like, my best friend was Japanese, like first generation Japanese and Italian. And then my other neighbor was German and Mexican.
That's beautiful.
And then
Amazing.
I have my one friend, Natalie. She's like Native American and Black. I also have Native American too, but she was my homegirl for a really long time. That we were like 30-40%, which is a lot.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
everyone else was pretty much white. And then there's like a whole Latina community
Okay.
Right.
too. But they didn't necessarily. My neighborhood was like white and like mixed race, like children of people who like innovate, kind of.
Huh.
Like my dad was an engineer,
Okay.
and he's first generation from Turkey.
Right.
And he met my mom in DC at the club.
At the club. Oh.
And back then, I mean, when clubs were really clubs,
Yeah.
like a lot of the clubs in Turkey were owned by Middle Eastern, surprise, surprise, and Turkish guys. So there's my dad's roommate at one point. Crazy story. So he had opened a club, right? He had got some inheritance / drug money and opened up this club called Cities in the 80s. It was
Okay.
like the spot
In DC.
in DC.
Okay.
So being that my dad's roommate, my dad's hanging out there. My dad's a total fucking nerd. He was wearing the pocket protector at the club and trying to get my mom's attention. So, long story short, they ended up hooking up, and it actually isn't a very long story because like 6 weeks later they were getting married and I was already coming.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Wow.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah, total love child.
Oh,
Hashtag romantic.
Hashtag romantic.
Very
That's really
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah, very romantical, as my mom would say.
Aw.
And so, yeah, flashback to, so I lived in Turkey for 5 years.
How old were you?
I moved to Turkey when I was 23.
Okay. Okay.
Did you grow up speaking Turkish?
I did, but when my grandparents were with us.
Okay.
My dad didn't speak in the home so
Okay.
much as he was learning he's trying to speak English because he's trying to
Right.
climb that corporate ladder, honey.
Right.
But my grandparents spent a lot of time with us.
Uh-huh.
So growing up, they didn't speak any English.
Mm-hmm.
So they would spend like a year or two with us at the home though. So it
Okay.
was like solid isolated amounts of time. And then so when I moved to Turkey at 23, I remembered, like understood a lot more than I could say, but it came back pretty quickly. I haven't been 100% fluent since then, but yeah.
What was that like moving to Turkey at 23? And where were you living? Like, were you in Istanbul?
Well, first of all, I didn't really plan on moving there.
Okay.
I just was in a place where like I was just tired of struggling in America, like
Yeah.
Okay.
to find my place, to find my voice, and
Right.
like
As an artist.
yeah, as an artist. And I always wanted to be a performer. I had always been on stage and like
Listen, sorry to interrupt. She's an absolutely brilliant performer. I'm so lucky that I got to work with you at the Shed this past summer.
that was
It was
awesome.
I saw you.
oh, you were there?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yes, we
Such-
blew that place up.
We sure did.
They weren't ready.
They were not ready for our entrance.
You have
Yes.
such presence.
Yes.
And, like,
Oh.
just fill up a room.
Yep, she sure
Hey.
does. She sure does. So, 23, Turkey, finding your voice.
Yeah. So I went for a wedding. This is a classic romantical Turkish story too. foreigner Turk comes to Turkey for a wedding, falls in love at said wedding, and then stays in Turkey. Well, I didn't fall in love at the wedding. I just like fell in love. I didn't fall in love with the person. Fell in love with the city and the presence of an actual culture that felt like real and not like inventive, which is, I feel like America's really great because it's like everybody's innovating and like moving at a really fast pace, but like there's not a lot of substance to a lot of what people do. So it's hard for me to connect a lot of times.
Right.
So when I got there, I was like, man, we eat this way. And when a guest comes, we treat them this way.
Right.
And we serve our guests when they come to the house.
There's a universal way of doing things.
Yes.
There's a solid culture.
Yes.
Right.
And a way that you respect your elders. So I was living with my grandma when we went for the wedding and my parents left me there. After like 2 months, I just like stayed at my grandma's house. And excuse me. I just kept finding like a job and places that like were really welcoming and accepting of me and like were interested in what I had to offer in the education sense. So I started teaching.
Teaching English?
No, I started teaching dance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's my background.
Right.
I started with ballet. Then I got too tall for ballet. So then my mom was like, do jazz. And then pushed me to do musical theater. And then I went to school for musical theater.
Which is where you met Richard.
Which is where I met Richard, the director of the show.
Richard Kennedy, brilliant director.
Shout out.
Hi, Richard.
Hey,
Richard. Hi. So
You felt like you were finding an artistic home in Turkey.
Yeah, I just felt like, because so much of being able to be an artist, which is why a lot of like trust fund babies or like people who have avenues of income, that cushion.
Yes.
Where you don't have to focus on survival so much. Like where you have the energy to create.
Triggered.
Sorry, we didn't do a trigger warning.
No,
it's so real.
It's so real when you have people that are, if you have family or whoever who's paying your rent and paying for class and paying for your lessons. It's like, it makes a world of difference.
Girl, class is $22. Like,
yes, $22. So, gosh, when I started waitressing, that's like 2 hours of waitressing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
right.
it's really, really hard. And I think that they need to teach that in these conservatories and in these music programs.
No,
they don't prepare anyone.
You know what I thought about yesterday? I was like thinking back to my days at conservatory. Something got me on a spiral online. And I was looking at
down the wishing well.
Yeah.
Help me. Grab me.
And I was looking at conservatory, like university kids, probably looking at choreography of one of my peers going back and teaching in schools. I was just like, if they had, nobody even asked me what my end game was.
Right.
I'm really big on that this week. Like, what's your end game? Where are you trying to get? Where do you envision yourself? And like the steps between that is going to be your life. You might not ever get to that end game, but just to have that goal, you know? Nobody asked me what I was trying to do, so I didn't know. Like when you ask people that, it forces them to envision.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you're absolutely right about that. But I think, here's what I think. I think that these schools are all about money.
You think?
And the teachers themselves are
capitalism.
Just right. They're hustling to get.
They're teaching you capitalism and arts.
Yes, and they're
living in the same universe and like not really being symbiotic, but existing.
Most of those teachers aren't even salaried,
but they're all
that again. I didn't hear you.
Most of those teachers aren't making a salary. Like conservatory teachers, they're all like.
Well, it depends on which conservatory. A lot of them.
If you got tenure, honey.
If you got tenure, then you are set, and they want those jobs. So they don't. A lot of them don't give a shit what the students are doing.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They give a shit, like they want them to do well, but they don't really care about the career goals. They're more concerned on their career in the arts because it's hard to it's really hard to get those.
It's like
positions.
this idea of like, are you a good dancer?
Right.
How many of us are actually going to go into the world? How many people are actually professional dancers?
And for how long?
And for more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
At the highest level. You know?
I don't know. I know one person.
Yeah.
Ahmad Simmons.
Hi, Ahmad. I don't know you, but hi.
He's the only cat that I know that's doing that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We all knew it though at school.
Right.
It wasn't a question. It was like Ahmad's going places.
There's always that person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, where are we where the rest of us stand?
Right. Exactly.
Support. Yes.
So you're in Turkey, you're finding your artistic voice, you're teaching dance. When did you find yourself spending more time with voice? Because your voice is phenomenal.
Thanks. I grew up, my mom always wanted to be a singer. She was a singer. She grew up in a very musical family. My grandfather, Papa Herbert, R.I.P., was avid jazz listener. And I think he maybe was in the military jazz band at some point. And then,
Cool.
yeah, had
cool.
a massive record collection. And so all of my aunts and uncles, somehow, one way or another, my uncle is still a professional drummer. So my mom and her sister were singers, and they have hilarious stories about being in studio and singing in church. So church was like the big thing in Detroit. That's where they were.
Okay.
So my mom growing up, she would just be putting me on, always
Right.
putting me on, like the iconic albums that like she would play out, or like Amel LaRue, For Real album, Tony Braxton Secrets.
We
It's just another sad love song wrecking my brain like Randy. I guess some more to love, baby. I love it. Not making fun of Tony's vocal
we love her.
stylization.
It's so good. She's amazing.
It's iconic. Yeah. Sade.
Yes.
Lovers Rock.
I feel like we grew up in the same household, right?
Brendan McCormack.
Brendan McCormack.
Amazing.
Come get your
And
child.
What's cool about I guess in music, there's lots of mixed race Esmeralda ladies. Esmeralda is like the Turkish term for the mixed race, like iconic singer.
Beautiful.
And this is like a cross-cultural mythology. You guys are freaking out.
We love it so much.
But it's like a cross-cultural mythology, right? Esmeralda, the gypsy girl,
Yes,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
She's like a troubadour and a traveler. And
Victor
she knows the
Hugo,
songs.
yeah.
Yeah. So in Turkish culture, it's Esmeray. Oh, wow. That's an actual person. She's an amazing singer and was a songwriter, and she wrote iconic songs. I don't know where
I'm learning
we are
so
now.
much, Malika.
Look up Esmeray. She has
Wow.
the song that put her on the map was a song that she wrote. I guess it was in the 40s. I might be wrong. But she wrote it as like an ode to military men of Turkey. And like, it was like a love song, like writing a letter to your lover, right? At military, who's in the military. And so she sings that song, and that kind of put her on the map, because that's like kind of a universal thing, right? It like made the Turkish people accept her.
Okay.
That's so cool. Wow. So do you feel like you experienced some of that in a weird
So
cross-generational...
fetishization.com.
Esmeray, right?
Yeah, Esmeray Çikolata Kız.
Chicolaticas.
There's a song called Çikolata Kız, which means chocolate girl. So
Knew it.
in Turkish, yes, exactly.
That sounded
Yep.
like something delicious.
It's
well, you know.
not to toot, but toot toot. Yeah, Meles is like the PC term,
Yeah.
which is like synonymous with mulatto.
Yeah.
Which we don't like that word.
We don't like that word. But
In our
métis in
culture.
French, it's métis. So it's like very similar. Meles, métis.
Morena.
Morena. Yeah.
They have what else do they say?
Half
Chocolate.
caste.
Yeah, Zengi, which literally means I don't like that word.
I've never heard that one before.
Zengi, but people they say it in the street, but you can say it various ways, right?
Right.
Depends on your delivery.
Right. Inflection, all that. Yeah, Lord.
What else? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But like, it's definitely a thing. Afro Turk, or just being Turkish and having brown skin, esmer, and that can be just an olive skin tone person
Right.
to someone of my complexion being Turkish, which is
Okay.
like a total thing, right?
Right.
Afro-Turk.
Afro-Turk.
Mm-hmm.
So your experience being an Afro-Turk as a 20-something year
I feel
old.
like I definitely had some doors open because I'm in that mythology.
Right.
I carry that energy. I'm from another place, exotic. But also, I think that I definitely like stepped into some spaces where it was kind of like, this is awkward, and people weren't necessarily treating me right. They just like want me here and like
right.
They just want
to
the diversity quota or the right.
Well, there it's not so much quota. It's like
the scary spice.
so. There's this job that I had.
Scary.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I fit in. There's a whole thing. Turkish people love the brown skin, right? But there's only certain spaces where you can occupy
Okay.
that are acceptable.
Okay.
Music, entertainment, being one of them. And for a lot of Turkish people who are more radical Muslim, it's kind of looked down upon. Like I'm automatically a whore because I'm working at nighttime.
Right.
Which not all gigs are at nighttime. We all know this.
We all do know this.
But I've even had certain family members just distance themselves from me,
right,
or just not like be as welcoming or open or whatever because they assume,
right.
So there's that. But for the most part, so that's where I was going to say. So there's the restaurant that I was working at, and they just treated me really, really well. That was like my greatest experience. Like at the highlight of like working in Turkey was like, they're like, we're going to give you an apartment. We're going to give you a weekly stipend. That's dope. Like you can do basically travel, do whatever you want. And all you have to do is perform here 2 nights a week. And like, I was just like,
that's amazing.
In Turkish culture, they say sahip olmak, which means like take you under my wing.
Oh,
like,
wow.
You're part of our family. It's a very beautiful part of the culture that I really, really love. And I feel like I do that with people. And I like it's just when you feel like someone really got your back.
Right.
They're like, whatever it is that I can provide for you, I got you. So
this sounds like the opposite of New York restaurant industry.
Yeah.
It sounds like the opposite of that.
It does.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
But you were performing, right? You were
Yeah. I was
the
there. I was the Nopa girl. That was the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
And that place has since closed. But it's owned by this group called the House Cafe Group, and they have lots of hotels and restaurants. So they're very well known.
Okay.
So this particular restaurant was like opened in the fashion district, and they just wanted something to elevate.
Right.
Beautiful. I have pictures of it on my Facebook and stuff.
Oh my gosh. We
so
should tag
cool.
them. We should
It
tag
has a
them
vertical
again.
garden in it.
I want to go.
And like a little waterfall that I would like stand in front of.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Let's go.
And so that place, so speaking of having basic needs met in order to feel creative.
Right.
So that space like really catalyzed like all the vibes that I'm living right now, like all the seeds that I planted in those moments. Because, I feel like for me, singing is very spiritual.
Right.
And I'm mixed with lots of indigenous things. I'm Cherokee, Turkish indigenous, Albanian, and then I'm also West African. So I think that all those cultures have a, using your voice as medicine or magic or whatever it is you want to use it for, healing. And so when I would sing in this restaurant, I just was like envisioning, I was like improvising.
Right.
And like be like, I'm going to make this a song and like I'm going to experiment with these people in this restaurant, see what it was. And it was just total like this synergy
Exchange. Right.
that was happening. A lot of the songs that I'm singing now are those songs.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, when I've experienced your vocal stylings, it's very clear that it's channeled. It's not something that feels superficial. It's not something that feels like it's coming from a place of artifice. It's like you're really gathering the energy from the space. You're really gathering like everyone around you and like feeding off of that. So
thank you.
Yeah, everything you're saying, I can co-sign and I can validate that. So, okay.
There was a video of you performing in the studio with like seating in the back online.
Seating in the back?
There was like a balcony mezzanine.
Oh
seating.
yeah, that's New Blue.
What is that?
That's New Blue here in East Village, which is also owned by a Turkish guy.
Okay.
So, a Turkish guy and his Brazilian wife.
Okay.
and she's Morena.
Morena. Mhm.
Right. And I worked for them in Istanbul. They had a pop-up spot in Istanbul where I was DJing. But this is before I wrote any songs ever. So I was never singing there. I just DJ just to be like, I just want to be part of this vibe. And I knew that they have this club in New York.
So you were setting,
It's a cool space.
Right.
So 3 years later, when I got here, I was like, New Blue.
Right.
So that's my spot. That's where I perform most often, most regularly.
Okay.
So what are you working on currently?
So these songs that I wrote in Turkey, as well as, some of these songs that I wrote when I first got back from Turkey, I didn't come straight to New York. I went to a farm to completely decompress from city life, period.
Right. You were out west, right?
Yeah, I was in California on a farm in Nevada City, growing weed, and there's sheep and chickens and just nice. People from all over the world coming in and out to work. And I was in Nerve, and he was also a musician, and he had built a studio there. So I wrote a bunch of stuff there. So right now I'm singing all these songs from the love and the synergy and the energy from the past 5 years, essentially. This is what I brought to the city now. So I just got my demo made.
Yay!
Congratulations.
And thank you.
Exciting.
And I have a handful of really dope musicians that I've connected with.
Great.
So working on some new writing, and really just my goal this winter is to go on a little East Coast mini tour and just share this demo project.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So that's so question. When can we get the demo? And second to last question, and then I have one more after this.
Okay. Yes, give it to me.
When you look back on your life, when you look back on everything, not just your career, what do you hope to see? Demo first.
Yes. Vision. The vision is I would like to create social change and awareness through talking about being Afro-Turk and the different kinds of Afro-Turkish people for Afro-Turkish people who are just underrepresented, right? In Turkey, a lot of people don't claim their Blackness.
Same here, girl.
Yeah,
In this country,
see it every day.
in America,
we see it every day.
People don't do it here.
Yeah, so I just want to be the mascot for Afro-Turks.
I love it.
And just go on tour and sing songs about my personal or experiences of other people that I am close with, my sisters, or other brown people's experiences about war, about being displaced, about feeling misplaced, about feeling belonging. And
did I see in your bio that your mom's side was from Alabama originally or something?
They were brought first to Sulligent, Alabama. That's
Okay.
the first landing place. We don't know where in Africa
But you
they
can
brought
trace
us
it back
from.
to that part of Alabama.
Yeah, my grandfather, my Papa Herbert, and his mom, my great grandmother Ruby, who I guess I take after the most. My mom sent me this document that they worked on. It was basically the family tree, but there's this one paragraph where they tell us the date. It's 1840s. Sulligent, Alabama is when my first ancestors, 2 sisters, arrived.
That is so late, 1840.
That's not
That is
long
no-
It
at
probably
all.
wasn't legal at that time.
Yeah.
And they were sold to Master McLeod. Cloyd. Master McClure, who married. He married
one of your. No.
Married my ancestor. Sex slave.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Poor
heavy in the
Irish.
DNA. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Is he Irish? I don't.
It could be Scottish. McClure could be Scottish as well.
Which is weird because apparently not a lot of Irish or Scottish people had slaves. But
That's
Wow.
crazy.
This is.
I
it's
tried to do
amazing,
research, honey.
Malike.
I tried to find that name in Alabama in any of the counties is really hard.
That's fascinating.
Really, really hard.
So, question. This is the last question. How How has empathy and forgiveness, this might seem like wild card.
Here
How-
comes Marianne Williamson. This is psychic energy, and we have to get salt lamps and put them against President Trump.
You
And
did not.
Stop making fun of your
salt
sister.
lamps.
Stop making fun of your sister.
He said salt lamp. Why?
Okay, how has empathy and forgiveness informed, how do you allow it to inform your daily decisions?
First of all, I got to forgive myself for holding on to shit. Then I got to forgive myself for feeling guilty for like wanting to rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I like step outside.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'm at peace with myself.
Right.
So that I can like just like be empty and like offer whatever it is that I step outside and just what people want. What do you want?
Right.
And I can offer. And that's like that's how I operate.
Right.
Like whatever it is that I have that I can offer my friends or whoever I run into, just like take it, you know? Because I feel like when you look the way we look, people's eyes,
Right.
no matter where you go, no matter
Right.
what you're wearing. So I'm like, this week I'm like, they're gonna look. So I'm gonna give them something to look at. I'm wearing a bra outside.
She looks
I'm
amazing, by
present.
the
Thank you.
way. She
do.
looks great.
And you know who
Snatched.
inspired this? I did a photo shoot with Plug Phantom Dante.
Dante Phantom.
Phantom by Dante, at Phantom by Dante. He is a Afro-Latino from Washington Heights. And he's very much about community, and he's a fashion designer and makes these amazing clothes. And I was basically outside with my ass hanging out. And at first I was like, and we were in McDonald's. And then I was like,
Wait, the one on 181st?
yes,
I know
girl.
that one.
Changing in the bathroom, like showing our receipts to the security guard, like, can I?
Oh my God. I know that McDonald's too well.
But I came out and the girl at the line was like, you know what? You better work it, honey. And I was like, you know, there's always somebody that pops out.
Yes.
Like, I feel like they just, who knows what possesses people to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it changed my whole week.
Right.
Oh, good.
So like
Right.
yesterday I had a see-through shirt on.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
Today I'm wearing a bra and I'm just like, take it.
Wow, I love
Yeah.
that.
Eat
I
it.
love that. That's amazing.
Serve
Dude,
the
you-
children.
Yes, you look so great. It's
Thank
like,
you.
why not?
I feel good.
And I love that response. I love it. It's
Well,
like,
you can feel good when you let yourself feel good. And for me, the way to do that is to just forgive myself.
right.
So that's a really great question. And that's how I have empathy for others, because I'm like, as self-centered as it might sound, but it's just like to have empathy for yourself is the only way you can really like be able to reflect that for anybody else. And the
Absolutely.
deeper you know yourself, Marianne Williamson. I think that's crazy. She's running for president.
It
right?
is
It's like
crazy. I saw
pseudo neo-Christian
that's like really
white
intense.
hippie bullshit. I'm
Very
sorry.
I don't think she qualifies for
I
the
can't.
next debate.
She hasn't. She has to get 2%. I think 2%.
Right.
To qualify for the next, and she hasn't. But you know, but I really love that. Like forgiving yourself allows you to forgive others, and you have to have enough empathy for yourself to forgive yourself.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
It
beautiful.
really
That's
is, yeah.
okay. So let's move on to our next segment, which is our mixed media. So, James, what is our mixed media for today?
I was waiting for a sound. I was like,
So-
that was amazing.
Going from salt lamp crystals to dark crystals.
Can I tell you an embarrassing story? I'm sorry.
Tell us.
One time I washed, like I was dusting my boyfriend's house and I like wiped down the salt lamp crystal
With water?
a wet cloth of water.
I've been there.
And it started
crystallizes.
crackling, like cracking. And I was like, oh shit, wait a minute.
It does that.
Freaking out. I was like, put it in the window by the sunlight. Like, I hope he doesn't walk in.
Have you ever had yours leak? Because it's so humid
I don't
outside.
own one. I don't own one.
Sometimes
It's
it gets
okay. We
so
should-
humid that they
They
attract
leak.
the,
Oh.
the
Yeah,
moisture
yeah.
and they leak.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Freaky.
that.
Yeah.
They get really more. Yeah, it's weird.
I was like, bitch, you stupid. Like these, it's salt.
Well,
How do you
speaking of
put-
cracking crystals,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what have you watched, James, this week?
So we started watching the Dark Crystal
All of us have,
So we
independently of each other.
All three of us have been watching The Dark Crystal.
Yep.
So it's there's a series that just came out, and it's based on the 1980s.
I'm assuming
1982 Jim Henson film, The Dark Crystal, which is
It's just as creepy now as it was then.
Is it a children's movie?
I don't know.
Questionable.
Very questionable.
It's a 1980s children's movie, but it is not so much the storyline for me that's most attractive. It's the artistry,
Yeah.
like the puppeteering and the just mechanics. And with the reboot or the prequel that they have on Netflix, they've seamlessly taken CGI and the original Jim Henson puppets and like put them together. And
Well, I tried to watch it with my son, and he was like, "No," I don't. He said, "No, Mama, those dolls are scary.
Yes, baby.
Their faces don't move."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, I'll watch it by myself."
Yeah.
Yeah, he was freaked out by it. He said, "That's not a cartoon. Those are dolls."
I was most freaked out by the snotty one, the snotty Skeksis.
That
shit was like
God,
extra gross.
to be beautiful.
She's like, I used to be beautiful like you. She was like, I don't like the country air. It makes my pustules act up. And it was like her slime coming out of her nose.
Oh, it was so nasty. That was the worst. Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm enjoying it.
I'm
Not gonna
enjoying
lie,
it too.
I'm enjoying it, but it is a little freaky, especially the part when Mira, one of the elven creatures,
The Gelfling.
Gelfling, the
Gelfling,
Gelflings.
the Skeksis, Mogra. Ogra?
I don't know. Well, when she gets taken by the Skeksis,
Yes.
and they take her essence so that they can
Right.
become more
Oh my
powerful.
gosh.
Like
Yeah.
that really, like it's stuck with me and it's freaking
So
me
many
out.
levels.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of things about that.
As a mixed race person, it just really.
Well, yeah, I guess you could go there.
kidding.
As a mystery. Well, I felt that way on some gigs, you know.
That's how
They've
I
just
felt in
stolen
Sarasota,
my
Florida.
essence, you know, when I've done commercials. I'm like, wow, I'm being objectified. Oh, you know. So yeah, what else did you think about it? Any more input on it?
Just that it's moving art, and I can't wait to get through it. Its episodes are a little bit long, but it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Good. All right, so let's move on to our last segment, which is health and beauty. So, James, do you have a health and beauty today?
Nope.
Malike, I know something about you. I know that you make lotions. Tell me about your lotions.
Potions and lotions.
Ooh.
So when I was a kid, I used to like collect like whatever plant life that was like colorful and attract honeysuckles, berries. And I would like make little potions and I would bury them.
Oh my God.
And then I would dig them up.
You
And
sound
then I'll
like
put them on
Annie.
my lamp in my room and then make my sister eat them.
Oh my God, we're twins.
Yes, traumatized. Karame, I'm
You
sorry.
Are, you're the twins.
We are twins.
I love you, Karame. Yeah, I got grounded for it once or twice because I almost set the house on fire. But yes, so that started all the way in childhood. So now I'm a little bit more, I guess, let's say, not trying to kill people. So the lotion that I make is full spectrum cannabis body / I use it on my face because I find, cannabis we know is high in antioxidant. It also has relaxing properties. So I use it around this little area. And I go
Your skin looks amazing.
Did you use it today?
I did use it
You
today.
guys,
You glow.
You don't even understand. Her skin is flawless.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So my lotion, it's cocoa butter based, and it has lots and lots of different herbs and oils, including aloe, jojoba, carrot
I
seed.
use jojoba
Yeah, jojoba's really good.
every day.
And the blend, I don't know, I'm not an esthetician, so I don't know where it falls on the comedogenic scale, which is like the level of pore clogging or cleansing. But I have very sensitive skin. It's not combination, but if I put something too oily, immediately I'm just like bloop.
Same.
So this doesn't. It
We made the
doesn't do
same
that.
sound at the same
Exactly, because that's what it
It
is.
is.
Like 2 hours later, you're like shit.
I'm like, why am I?
So yeah, it's amazing. It smells like cocoa butter, but it also has like that hint of like herb. Smelling like herb. If you like the smell of herb,
Yes.
even if you don't really like it, it's not like overpowering. I have my Instagram page. It's Queens of Kush at Queens of Kush, and yeah. So
Do
Yay.
you buy like stuff in wholesale?
so I buy different parts of the lotion
Okay.
wholesale, and then I have my secret formula of extracting.
She can't tell us everything.
Oh,
Right,
no,
right,
I
right.
don't-
Because I still haven't patented the shit. I don't want anybody to, whatever. I hope people are inspired by it because out of necessity too, because there's so many fake organic products out there. And like, swear to God, like every day another quote unquote organic company is being outed by having glyphosate.
Yes. Yeah.
Or testing on animals. And
Right.
you're just like, child, I just used this one product for like 2 years. And now I'm like,
Right.
what do I use? There's just so much stuff out there. But then it's like, the world is changing so fast. So it's-
Right.
if you make your own stuff or buy handmade my stuff is like made in small batches.
Right.
With love in my kitchen.
Right.
And, my little brother, it's kind of gross. My little brother, like when my grandma makes food, it's like, it's got Babane skin cells in it. It's got my skin, it's got my essence bottled up. So you can hit me up in the DMs. You could also hit me up on Instagram, Melike on Earth.
Melike
Awesome.
on Earth and Instagram. Well, I can't wait to try it.
Me?
I'm very
Same.
excited. One more health and beauty. I tried red cabbage and ginger juice yesterday after my run. Listen, it was a hot mess. I don't recommend it. So just saying. Yeah, I'm trying to cleanse, and it wasn't a good
This is a
moment.
good time to cleanse.
Yeah, it is a good time. End of
But you have to
summer.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't have to suffer.
No,
Just
that's
saying.
horrible.
Maybe some people would enjoy it, but I did not.
Yeah, cabbage.
Melike Kanur, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you
is so much
so
Thanks,
much.
Max.
Oh my gosh. Our
This is
first
so
guest.
amazing.
Can you please spell your name? Because we're going to drop your Instagram handle and I just want to.
So the easiest way to remember is me like, 2 words, on earth, all together, Melike on earth. And my website is melike.us.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, it's been a joy to have you on
Thank
Mixed
you.
Emotions podcast.
This is awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever podcasts are found. All right. Take care. Bye.